Hi. If you're new here, I'm Avi. If you're not, you probably know what time it is. I make art and book related videos, and we're back with another book one. So my bookshelf tour and rearranging video did actually really well. So I was like, you know what, I should start, continuing making these book videos. So we are here, and we are going to make some more, hopefully. Today, we are going to be doing my top 5 most anticipated books of 2025. So 20 other books I haven't read. They're all on my TBR, and I want to read them all by the time 2025 is over. And yeah, if you can't tell, I'm in a new filming location. Not really new. I'm in my sister's room because I'm babysitting her dog. So I had to bring all of my books down here for this video. Hope y'all appreciate my dedication for this video. My sister's gonna beat me. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so without further ado, I think we should just get into the books. Yeah, a lot of these are series that I want to read, or duologies, trilogies. So again, I'm gonna show you the books, but again, it all adds up to 25. So we have 25 books that I want to read. So the first is a duology. We have a duology by Lee Bardugo. We have the Six of Crows duology. I've been wanting to read Six of Crows for a long time. Ever since it was probably initially published, I've been wanting to read it. But then of course the show came out on Netflix. It got really popular. I watched it. I was like, okay, this is cool. I prefer the crows to the Shadow and Bone bit. So I was like, I really want to learn more about the crows, and especially Nina. I really wanted to learn more about Nina. So I was like, you know what? I might as well get the books. So we have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Crooked Kingdom is chunky compared to Six of Crows, so things better happen. But yeah, that's the first 2 books from my thing. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? I have my sister's dog down here, and she's being a bad girl. I'm just gonna throw the books off the bed when we're done with it. The next book, one singular book, is almost called this Pride and Prejudice. It's not. It's Sense and Sensibility. I've already read one classic this year, and it was 1984 by George Orwell, and I've been really wanting to expand my classic collection. I've already read a few Jane Austen novels, and I really love her work, so I was like, you know what, why not? I requested this for Christmas, and I got it. And so, yeah, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. And I really love stories about sisters, and this is literally centered around 2 sisters. So, why not? I literally have to read it then. I literally have to, guys. I'm so excited. And it's the Penguin Classics copy. I don't have Penguin Classics for any of my other ones, so that's awesome. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to do a bunch of my single ones now. Okay, She Who Became the Sun is the 4th book. Again, I just love sapphic. I don't know if you're new here, you don't know this, but if you're a recurring character, then you know I love sapphic romances. My personal goal is to own every single sapphic romance book there is out there. But there's a lot, so we'll have to build up to that slowly. So my goal is to read at least 15 this year. And I've got at least 25 books here, so, let's hope to read lots of books this year. So we have She Who Became the Sun. It's basically a sapphic retelling of Mulan, except, she, instead of, volunteering for the war to, help her father, she has a brother who, dies, and she basically, assumes her brother's identity so she can assume her brother's, fate, because she's, doesn't have a good fate. She's, gonna die and be a woman and stuff. So she's like, I want glory, I want to be a man. I haven't read it, I have not read this. This is just, kind of, what I've heard. And so she joins the army, and, yeah, it's gay. Next is A Song to Drown Rivers. I got the special edition copy for my birthday, so it looks like this. And take off the cover. It's like this. What? And it's got beautiful end paper art. It's not like art, it's more like a printed illustration. But it's beautiful. And then of course we have the sprayed edges. Yeah, I've been really wanting to expand my Greek mythology section, not just general Greek myths, but of course, books and stories about Greek mythology where it's their personal take on myths and what's happening, and original characters and stuff. I love that, and I love reading it, so I want to expand my collection. So we have this. Another book I want to read, it's not going to be in this video, but it's a book similar to this. I want to read Lies Between to the Sea. It's a sapphic Greek mythology telling about one of the smaller river goddesses, I believe. And this one is, again, it's very similar. Not similar like similar, that one's like really sapphic. But this one is, yeah, similar in like the Greek mythology and what's happening in that myth. But yeah, I just really want to read more Greek myths and stuff, and more stuff about that. Because all I've ever read is like Percy Jackson, and then of course I read all of Madeline Miller's works. So I really want to expand my like my collection, my reading view. I don't know what to call it, my worldview. I don't know. I want to expand, and so we're gonna try. And so we have A Song to Train Rivers. Okay. Next up, When the Moon Hatched. I already don't know how many books we've gone through, but this is one of the books that I really want to read. I really love fantasy books, and my favorite kind of fantasy books are ones where there's like dragon riding and academy involved. So yeah, I got this as a birthday present, and also this copy is signed by the author. Like, can you believe it? Oh my god. Ugh, I'm just so excited to read this. I've heard a lot. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews about it, but again, I'm just very excited to read it because it's very similar to a book series I've already read, and we're going to talk about that immediately next. But it's very similar to a book series I read, and I loved it. So I was like, I have to get my hands on this. I love dragons. I need it. Okay, so the next book I have is connected to a series that is similar to that one, and that I've already kind of read and want to continue reading. It is A Day of Fallen Night. I've read Priory of the Orange Tree, and I fell in love with it. I spent an entire month reading it. It physically and emotionally destroyed me. Like, I was bawling. I loved it. I need everything. I was like, I need more. And then I found out there was more. So I'm very excited to read it. And this is the prequel. I believe this is the original. Like, this is the origin of how the villain became to be, or it's like the first time the villain or it's like one of the original times the villain arose. I'm not 100% sure. I have not started to read it. And my friend who read this book will not give me any spoilers at all, because she's like, no, one tiny spoiler will spoil the whole thing. And it kind of does. That's kind of what her writing style is like. Like, everything is very layered and detailed. And she's also coming out with a new prequel this year, I believe. It's either this summer or this fall. It's not going to be as long as these books, as the other two, this one and Priory. They're 800 pages. It's going to be like 400, 500 pages, and it takes place like immediately before Priory. It's called Among the Burning Flowers, and it's how one of the great cities falls to the dragons, like how the dragons overtake the city, and it's awesome. I'm so excited to read it, and it's bringing back characters that she would constantly mention in her other books but never bring up, and the biggest criticism is, why do you keep mentioning this character if you're never going to bring them up? Or why'd you kill this character if they seem to have such a big thing? So she's like, you know what? Okay, here you go. Here's a book about these characters. Very excited. And I'm surprised she's coming out, because this book came out in 2023, and the book before that came out in 2019. So it takes her 3-4 years to write one of these books. And it took her a year and a half. And she was like, okay, here's another one. Which means she just loves the lesbians, guys. And yeah, if you couldn't tell, this is a sapphic book. Okay, what's next? Okay, this one is a standalone. I literally bought this book yesterday because I saw the cover. I was like, oh, that's so pretty. And it was on sale, and I was like, okay, let me read the back of it, and if it's really good, and even if it's not even really good, if it seems slightly interesting, I'll buy it. And oh my god, it seems so interesting. It's called Wolfwood. It's about a girl, and her mom is a very famous painter, until one day she randomly stops painting, and everyone's like, why'd you stop painting? And she's like, I just stopped painting. And then literally a couple years, 10 years later, she gets an offer from a gallery to, if she finishes some of her paintings and makes some new paintings, and just brings out some of her old paintings, they'll give her $100,000. And her mom's like, no, I literally will not do that. And everyone's like, why? And she's like, I don't even care about the money. I'm just not going to do that. I don't want to. And they're like, okay, whatever. But then the daughter's like, no, we really need this money. So she pretends to be her mom and is like, okay, I'll do the gallery show. And she's a talented artist, and her style is very much like her mother's. So she decides to pick up the brush and to finish all of her mom's old paintings, do a couple new ones, and submit all the old ones, and finish the gallery, turn them in, and to get the money, you know? But turns out there's a reason her mom stopped painting, and it's because her mom's paintings are actually her mom has That's not really 100%. It's not like they don't really say how it happens in the quick little blurb, but it's the paintings. It turns out there might be a. Let me read to you what it says. It says it turns out there might be a good reason her mother wants nothing to do with Wolfwood, which is like the painting series, like the collection. The painting submerges Indigo, our main character, into Wolfwood itself, a dangerous jungle where an army of grotesque monstrous flora is in a violent battle with a band of girls. As Indigo enters Wolfwood again and again, the line between fantasy and reality blurs in its tedious balancing act, keeping her forgery secret and her mind lucid, all while fighting her attraction to Kai, the son of the gallery owner, who she's making the paintings for. By the time Indigo realizes the true nature of the monster she's up against, it might be too late, and the monsters might just win. So it's yeah, the paintings are literally magical worlds with monsters in it, and she gets thrown into these worlds, and it's she's lost between fantasy and reality, and it's really cool. I saw this and I was like, I have to get it. So I got it, and of course, the cover art is absolutely stunning. Again, they always say don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm an art major. I'm studying to be an illustrator. I will be judging. I will be judging by the cover. It was on sale for $6, so I had to buy it. What's next? Okay, I think everything else that I have is a series. Someone just went into my garage. But this is the last single book. It is part of a duology, but I don't know if I'm gonna read the second book because I've had lots of mixed reviews about this one and even more mixed reviews about the second one. So we're just gonna see how it's like. And it's One Dark Window. I don't know. I really like fantasy books, and I've really been trying to reach more into the romantasy section. The only time I'll ever read romantasy is sapphic, and again romantasy, and again it's the romance is literally a subplot. It's the high stakes fantasy, monster POV, extreme world building, things are dangerous stakes. I just want something that's okay, there's dangerous stakes and there's fantasy world, me and my parents, but come on, I just want to kiss this beautiful girl or this beautiful guy, and I just want to have this flirty vibes. I want to get more into that, but a lot of these books are really corny and really annoying and written the problematic actors who have no idea how prose even works. But I've heard good things about this one and the prose about it and how it's written, how the writing style is written by someone who actually attended university. So I'm very excited to read this. Okay, I think everything else here I have is a series. Nope, I have one more. Okay, we have Vicious. Ugh, I don't know, I've heard lots of good things and I've been recommended this book by everyone. I was first recommended this book by my friend. He was like, I picked this book up, I'm gonna read it, you should read it too, and we should read it together. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then I finished watching Arcane, and I saw this video, and it was read these books if you liked Arcane. And of course, Vicious was among it, and the main character is literally named Victor, and it's very similar to Victor's actual plot in Arcane. So I was like, you know what? I have to pick it up, and I've heard lots of good things about V.E. Schwab, lots of amazing things about her. And if I like this, I'll read Vengeful, and I'll read all of her other things. So yeah, that's why it's on here, because I really want to get more into her books and expand into her world and her reality. So yeah, that's the last of our single books, even though this is kind of a duology, but I don't have the second one, I only have this one, so here's my tips in this video. Now, I'll do some duologies, because that's easier. So the first duology I have are Yang-chan books! I read the Kyoshi books last year in October. Yeah, September, October. I read them when I was starting grade 12. Literally, I was starting my final year of high school, and I was like, you know what would be really good? I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I went into high school, into my grade 9 year. I had just started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, because that's when COVID-19 happened for me. 2020 was literally when I started high school. So I was like, you know what? If I went into my first year of high school, starting Avatar, getting into the lore, reading the comics, getting into the Korra, reading the Korra comics, reading fanfiction, getting on to that, it only makes sense that I finish my high school career getting into Avatar again. Getting deeper back into Avatar, because I'd kind of fallen out of the fandom. So I was like, I need to read the Kyoshi novels, and I fell in love with them. Started reading fanfiction again, started making fan art again. It revived my spark, and I absolutely adored it. So I was like, now I have to read the other books. And I didn't have a job, so I couldn't afford the books for a while, so now I have them. I do not have The Reckoning of Roku because I'm poor. I'm not poor, but I'm living paycheck to paycheck. But I also have not been able to find it in physical bookstores. So I'm gonna have to get online. And it's always out of stock if you want to get it. But yeah, we have both Yang Chen books. Which one comes first? Okay, it's comes first. Sorry, I had to read the picture. Okay, the Yang Chen comes first. Yeah, Yang Chen and Kiyoshi and Korra. Again, top 3 avatars for me. Sorry, Yang. Even though I got into Avatar first, and I still absolutely adore these characters. Like, they're just so powerful, and they're just so complex, and like have so much more layers and power capabilities. Sorry, not sorry. So I'm just like way more interested in them and want to learn more about them. And again, we just know so much about Aang, and not so much about literally everything else. And I love that we know. Like, I love Aang, and I love that we're continuing his story. Because we should. He lived a whole life, and we just literally jumped to the next avatar before finishing his life story. But again, there's so many avatars. You have so many stories to tell. Just tell the stories. You can get so much money. And yeah, capitalism works, guys. Capitalism works for me. For me, capitalism works. I'm a horrible person. Alright. Last duology, and then we're into some bigger series, like really big series. We have the Legendborn series. I've been wanting to read it since Legendborn itself came out, because again, I've been wanting to read. I wanted to expand my worldview and my horizons, and I've been wanting to read a lot more stories with POC protagonists. And I'm really slow today. I was like, what's the word? But yeah, I love independent women. I love female characters, and so the fact that it's a black female character and centered around her life and what's happening to her and her grief, I just was like, yeah, I have to pick it up. So I picked up this one, and I wanted to pick up. I requested these for my birthday and for Christmas, and I got them. So I'm so excited. And the 3rd book in this series is coming out this year. I forget when, but yeah, it's called Oathbound, and it's coming out this year, and I'm so excited. But yeah, I've heard nothing but like amazing things about this book. This is one of the books that I've literally heard 0 bad things about. Like, only praise has ever been spoken about these books. So I was like, I have to pick these up. And like, oh, I'm sorry, but just appreciate how beautiful the cover art is and how beautiful the main character looks. Ugh. Brie is the love of my life. Just look at how stunning she is. And again, stunning. The artist who did this, I need to make out with them. I judge books by the covers, guys. Okay, now we're into some trilogies. Yeah, let's go in. This trilogy, let's talk about, because I'm currently reading one of her other books right now. I'm currently reading Fable. I'm about 55% through it. Yeah, I'm on chapter 17. I don't know how much you would consider that through, but yeah, it's insane. Like, it's insane. I seriously, every time I read like a page, I have to like stop and genuinely think about everything. I'm like, oh my god, she is phenomenal. Rebecca, I love you so much. So, you know what this is when I said trilogy, didn't you? We have The Happy Wolf, all 3 books. I have not read them. I don't know. I've only recently gotten back into reading. Like, I was really into reading in middle school and like grade 9, but then I stopped. High school got really hard for me, and I was like, I just cannot. And then by the time I reached 11th grade, I fixed my mental health, and I was like, you know what, let's get back into reading. And I just fell in love with it, and I like the summer of like before 11th grade, I read every single day. And there were moments when I literally would read 1 book a day. So I had a problem. So now I'm just like, okay, I just have to expand. I just have to read. I just have to learn. So we have the Word. Again, I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, and I love badass female characters who are kind of a little unhinged. By kind of a little unhinged, I mean like completely unhinged. They should brutally people. So we have all 3 books. We have the entire trilogy, and oh my god, they just like keep getting bigger. Keep in mind, Rebecca, R.F. Kuang, the author, R.F. Kuang, was in university. She still is, but was in her like first few years of university writing these books. How do you have the time, the place, the effort? I mean, I read fan fiction, but like, that's fan fiction. How many pages? A 600-page book? Girl, where are you getting the audacity? Marry me. What? Anyways, next trilogy. Okay, we have the 17th book. Okay, this is not the 17th book. This is the 17th book, which is, again, another trilogy. We have The Jasmine Throne. Again, guys, need more sapphic fantasies, need more romantasy books. The second I heard, like, this book I'd wanted it, because, again, the cover art is beautiful, so I had it in my cart for a while. But then I found out, oh, not only is it a fantasy book with the baddest female protagonist, but it's sapphic! It's sapphic, so I was like, okay. Literally, just like, once someone says it's sapphic, it's queer, I literally have to, like, tap my credit card. I'm sorry, but I have to. I just love them. If you can tell, I'm a lesbian. My girlfriend does think I do have a problem, but it's okay because she likes to read too, and every time I say I read this book, she goes, okay, let me borrow your copy, and she reads it too, so it's okay. It's okay. We're deluded together. But yeah, we have The Jasmine Throne, and of course, we have the entire series. We have the Old Throne. Oh, it's double perspective. Guys, it's dual perspective. If there's one thing with, like, straight romances, I hate dual perspective because, like, men are usually idiots. But with sapphic fantasy, with, like, sapphic romances, please give me both of their perspective because they're both going through so much. Women have so many emotions and thoughts. I love them. I love women. Give me all their thoughts. And then, of course, Lotus Empire, which only came out recently. But I had to get my hands on this. I literally bought it on Boxing Day. I was like, please, I need this. I gotta get the sale. I gotta get it. And I didn't even realize it, but these books are, like, pretty big. Like, this is the Poppy War. This is the Lotus Empire. Like, it's, like, significantly taller than it. And, like, but, like, I feel like I like that because it's a 500-page book. And it doesn't, like, from the site, it doesn't seem like 500 pages, you know? But, I don't know. I kind of like that they're taller because, like, it gives me more, like, space to read. And the font is bigger, so. And I don't know if you know from my other videos, but I wear glasses. I'm nearsighted. I'm not wearing them right now because they're dirty, but I'm nearsighted. So I really appreciate a nice big font. I love when fonts are big. I'm like, please, thank you so much. You have blessed me. Also a little bit dyslexic. But this is Legendborn. I'm gonna have to call my eye doctor and be like, get me a better prescription, please. Okay. Okay, we're on to the last 5 books. And the last 5 books is another series. I have it in the box set because the box set, it's not, like, super pretty, the box set, but it's cute. But, like, they all fit in it, and I've never had a box set that they all, like, fit nicely into. After you take them out, it's, like, really hard because, like, the plastic. It's, like, a lot of times it's not this flimsy, like, cardboard. A lot of times it's, like, harder cardboard, so I can't fit them all back. Sorry, yapping. But yeah, down to our last 20 books. I can't believe we're here already, and it's only been 22 minutes. Okay, average of like 1 minute per book, 1.5. I can't believe this. Okay, 5 more books that I really desperately want to read in 2025, which I'm surprised I've never read these books. But Game of Thrones. I started watching House of the Dragon first, and I got into that when it came out because, again, I'm sorry, but I love Yuri. I love gays. So I saw a bunch of Renaissance edits. Was convinced by these edits that they were canon, and I started it. I was sadly disappointed. That they were not canon, and that they were so toxic. But again, I'm gay, so I love toxic things. I love toxic themed Yuri, so I was like, I need, so I consumed. And I was like, yes, please, I need more. I love it. It's beautiful. I didn't adore it. Like, there were parts that I'm like, oh, should not have happened. Bad writing. Hate women. Lots of things. But I was like, I liked it. Again, mostly for the Renaissance journey. Mostly for the gays. Now I'm kind of on the Rhaenyra and Mysaria hype train. Because low-key, the relationships are kind of getting better. But, again, give me gay people and I'll watch it. So I got really, really obsessed with it, and I was like, okay, I'll watch Game of Thrones. Watched it, fell in love with it, watched it 4 more times. Then I was like, by the time I had watched Game of Thrones like 4 times, season 2 of House of the Dragon was about to come out, and I was like, well, this was what got me into it, so I loved it so much. So I was like, you know what? I think I should read Fire and Blood, even though I've only ever heard, like, bad things about George R. R. Martin. it's writing and how it's like really graphic and violent. So I read it and I was like, you know what, whatever. I think I'm grown and like matured enough as a reader to be able to put myself through that. Like I can read it. Like I had just finished The Handmaid's Tale and I was like, if I can read The Handmaid's Tale after not even being fully processing my like trauma that I have trauma related to like similar things that happened in The Handmaid's Tale. If you know, you know. So I was like, if I can read The Handmaid's Tale without even processing my own trauma related to that and have flashbacks while reading that, I can read Game of Thrones, which is really like I shouldn't have, but I did anyways. And I got through it. I cried. I was like, this book is insane. I kind of liked it, and like I didn't like the way it was like 100 told because like it's literally a historical retelling, and you're like, why am I not getting these characters for like perspectives? But it was insane, and I loved it, and I was like, it made me more critical of the show, and I was like, oh my gosh, why couldn't they have like included the book things? But again, I'm just yapping at this point. But like I liked it. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time that I read the books. And I told my friend, and they were like, Avery, no, don't read the books. They're so graphic and gory. I was like, wow, thanks. But I'm such a big fan of the show, and I like love the characters, and I understand some of them are my favorite, and I like have deep understandings of them, and like I relate to them. But I was like, okay, maybe I won't. And then I don't know if it was 10 or 15, but the 10th or the 15th, the anniversary editions of the books came out. So I was like, okay, I have to get them. They're beautiful edition covers. Like they're so stunning. I have to get them. So yeah, I got them. I have not read them, but yeah, these are the last 5 books that I desperately want to read in 2025. I got them in 2024, and I was initially like told myself I was gonna read them then, but I did not because I'm reading so many books. Again, I have 25 books that I want to read, and my overall goal for 2025, like my book goal is 45 books. So, which I mean, depending on your view of books, is either a little or a lot. But for me personally, this year I read 25 books. So, like in 2024 I read 25 books. So I'm like almost trying to double my goal. So, it's a lot for me, okay? And especially because I just finished high school. I'm in my gap year. I'm still taking art classes, and I'm like, I got into a few colleges. I'm about to go into college and university. Like, I don't have a lot of time on my hands. I'm working on stuff so I can afford it. Like, I have a life. I cannot be able to like be reading nonstop. But yeah, we have Game of Thrones on here. And again, these covers are absolutely stunning. The initial covers, I do not like them. It's literally just a stock photo of like a sword, a cup, a shield, a crown. These ones, stunning. This is Jon, climbing up a mountain, but the mountain is actually his direwolf. And it's like in the north, right after he goes. Not after he joins the Watch, but after he gets kidnapped by the what are they called? But the free people, the free men. I don't know. The people in the snow. I literally forget their names. And then yeah, Clash of Kings. I think it's Jon again, but it's the Lion. Then Storm of Swords, which is Jon again, guys. Come on. I have mixed feelings about Jon, but that's again, I literally only watched the show, and I've heard they've like low-key like ruined his character in the show. So yeah, this one is my favorite cover so far. It's the Stag for House Baratheon. Lots of House Baratheon things happening in here, so of course you can have that. And then of course you have the Con for Dany and her dragons, and the beautiful illustrations again. And then A Feast for Crows. You gotta have Giant Crow on that. More. Oh, actually, I don't think this is Jon. They finally switch it from Jon to actually switch it to Arya, because this is when Arya, I believe she, it's centers more around her, and this is when she joins. Why do I forget what it's called? The Faceless Men. This is when she joins the Faceless Men. I was like, the Faceless People? But yeah, again, beautiful. And then Dance for Dragons. It's the weird tree that Bran ends up in. The weird tree with the forest people. But again, yeah. But again, it's Arya. They finally switch it to Arya because she gets lots more perspectives. Yeah, Daenerys, Arya, Bran. I'm actually a fan of Bran. I'm sorry. I really only said for like the people. I like Bran in the show. Maybe he's a little more boring in the books, but I like that he can like have visions and can wolf work. Guys, and I'm very excited to learn more about their wolf dreams and like how they can I forget the word. I forget what it's called, but like how they can project into their dire wolves. So yeah, those are the 25 books that I want to read in 2025, or you know the top 25. I still have lots more books on my TBR that I could talk about. But yeah, if you like this video and you want to see videos about me reading these books, you should hit the like button, and consider subscribing. Yeah. See you later.